California knows how to race, Chase.
Happy New Year.
We got 2 big old shows coming up.
I know. This is very exciting. So if you live in California, you have multiple chances to see us.
LA, January 11th, and San Fran, January 22nd. And you don't even know the tomfoolery that we have planned, the gimmicks. The gags.
Yes, I love relying on a gimmick.
No,
Sight gags.
You got to have a gimmick if you want to get ahead.
That's true.
So if you want to come and get some head with us, you can go to racechasertickets.com.
And join us at this live show. It'll be the live experience with your race chasing gals.
Forever. Dog.
Race chaser. Woo-hoo. Race chaser. Yeehaw. Race chaser. Woo-hoo. Race chaser. Yeehaw.
Hello, and welcome back to Race
Chaser.
Chaser, a podcast dedicated to the discussion, dissection,
And dissemination
of every single episode of RuPaul's Drag Race, starting from the very beginning.
This is the beginning.
My name's Alaska. What is yours?
I'm Willem, and this is All Stars 4. Yeah, snatch the live. Snatch the game alive.
AS4 already. It seems just like yesterday that I was getting crowned the Queen of Snakes, and now here we are.
I saw that new video, BT Dubs.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cash drop.
Was that the one that was supposed to be Thanksgiving?
It was supposed to be Black Friday, and then, because of the holiday, the song wouldn't be out. So I was like, it has to be a consumeristic day. So what more consumeristic day than Christmas?
Totally truth.
Yeah.
I thought it was a great video. It had our sister J. Jolie in it. It had Calpurnia Adams. It was frivolity and fun-filled.
Yeah. It was a lot of really amazing people working on the set. The vibes were really fun. And I hadn't done a music video like that in a while and just been styled and judged by so many people. And it
was it a Brad Hammer production?
Yes.
Girl, he's got the team. He's got Kiki Extravaganza.
Yeah.
He's got a little girl with scissors.
The jewelry was all pulled from Raja because we did it all very last minute. Everyone only had a couple days notice pretty much.
Yeah.
And everyone just came together and did it. And it was a nice experience.
That's lovely. Yeah. Farrah had a nice experience on All Stars, I think. She told everyone to shine bright, All Stars. On her lipstick message from last week.
That's
after
sweet.
She got the house down boot.
She did.
She got sent to the house. Oh, you don't love me.
The thing about this episode, which is sort of making it an anomaly, is the fact that it was...
Drip drop.
It was leaked
Yep.
on the WoW Presents Plus app. Is that where it came out?
Oh, then they can call it a leak, but what actually happened is that was released.
So how does that... I
think that they knew people would be talking. It's a great conversation point. And they're getting out in front of the storyline, and they want plenty of time. Now they have 2 weeks.
Getting out in front of what storyline?
Oh, this villain storyline that they definitely have established with Miss Gia Gunn. They have 2 weeks now to establish a storyline in the press, in the hearts, and the minds of their watchers. And this is the storyline of the season. They are ruining Gia. That is the docket. And they're bringing her back probably because everybody always comes back for All Stars. You know, they do that whole thing. Every season, the girls have come back. So it's not like I'm leaking. I'm leaking.
Something's leaking out of you.
Not with this Pure for Men's getting me together.
That cushion is ruined. I know you just came from a session, so...
Did you see
they're not I don't think Gia Gunn is ruined.
They're going for it. No.
Any way, metaphysically, theoretically. I don't think at all.
They can't tame that dragon.
No, and I think that she is someone who can run with this narrative, and she already is.
Yeah, I like that she is re-steering what people can think about her, because any opportunity on a mic, she will go right into her platform and talk about it. And she has some choice words for Rue, which has made crowds cheer from what I've heard so far. But she is making her points known about the issues that she had with what Rue and production have said about the trans issue. And she is not holding her tongue anymore, which I love. I love a girl unleashed.
You do?
I love a girl unleashed.
You do?
Unstrap it, girl. Unstrap that tongue.
Do you, gal?
Let us see what it can do.
Yeah. So you think it was intentionally put on Wow Presents Plus? I think somebody pressed the wrong button, and these things happen with tech and like, I don't know.
Well, that person's probably fired for sure.
How long was it on the app and just like sitting there? Because I feel like it was several days.
Over 48 hours, because I watched it twice.
On the app?
No, I just downloaded it. Someone sent me the link.
You watched it on.
I don't know what kind of drive, but okay. So my girlfriend sent me a clip, and then my other girlfriend sent me a link, and then I sent it to all my girlfriends, and then I said, "Make sure you share this."
Because when a leak like that happens, I mean, especially within this fan base, it doesn't stay contained. It goes everywhere.
But this
immediately
is ripped from the app and then put on Google Drive where no one can control it.
Thank God for you
It
people that went
reminds
to.
me of like Napster days, you know.
Bitch, I've ruined a computer with LimeWire.
Same.
Ooh, my dick was raw and my hard drive was ruined.
Are we sure it was on Wow Presents Plus? Because I don't even see.
I don't have access. I'm not a member.
Is that where it came from? Maybe we can get a ruling from the fans.
The file that this says, in the file it says Wow Presents Plus.
Because they don't even have like a section. Like the only thing they
You
have.
don't read them.
Internationally?
Maybe it was international. The only thing. Like, they don't even have, I can't even, under RuPaul's Drag Race, it just brings up Untucked. So, it must have been international. I don't know. Maybe someone can, like, DM us or, like, let us know what the tea is with all that.
I think it's rare that a mistake of this magnitude happens. So
Such magnitude.
It's
it's huge.
It's
a whole episode.
It makes one wonder if it was intentional, and if it was, and now people have something to watch over Christmas too. They knew that. They're like, ooh, people are going to be home, touching their loved ones, wanting to hate somebody. Let's give them Gia. You know?
Well, let's get into it. Let's get into this episode. I really liked it.
Yeah, I think the right person went home last week. Farrah, I love, and I got a lot of crap online about going in on her. People like my Gigi asked me yesterday. She's like, someone sent me a link that said, "Ooh, Willem went in on Farrah," and I was like, Gigi's
you?
like time code because she doesn't have time to listen to the whole thing, but she wanted to hear it.
Give me the time code.
Give me the time
now.
code. She listened to it and she's like, "You didn't really go in. I mean, everything you said was true." I was like, "Yeah, it didn't look like she was enjoying herself up there, and you know, there were obvious mistakes and." Things she would have done different. I'm not going in on her. Stop trying to make drama. There's all these headlines in other languages that I can't read, and I see my name and Farrah's name, and I know what they're talking about. I know what you're talking about. I see you. Oh.
Well, I mean, the truth is, I love Farrah very much, and I've worked with her in real life. And
Me too,
she's
yeah.
So
Sweetheart.
fun and like hilarious.
Yeah.
And you know, when you're thrown into this especially All Stars fish tank, it becomes, you know, everybody's a shark, and it becomes like when there's blood in the water, somebody has to go.
What kind
and
of?
so,
Sorry, go ahead.
What kind of?
I was trying to think of an alternate talent if you were to suggest one to Pheromone for next year's All Stars, maybe a redemption. I was thinking she makes this, you know how Carmen sometimes makes a concoction of glitter and tanning oil and body rub. Farrah makes this gorgeous concoction and she rubs it on her body. I would have loved to see her make like the concoction of everything she puts on to highlight and tan her body, like as a you know, like some kind of that, or chain smoking.
Such an asshole. I think she should do burlesque again, and
Now with quotes, wagon wheel with Hoosie. Air rights.
Wait, can we go back? Because that Gus Kenworthy just did a reveal as his. Hello, these are the guest judges this week. The guest judges are stepping their puss up so fiercely this season.
They really are.
It's very smart.
The guest judges are in drag.
The looks are getting like really outrageous.
Oh.
Gus Kenworthy did a rose petal reveal. Well, it's not rose. It's like lilies.
And Kenyon looks like he stepped out of the Formation tour. Hardcore.
Yes, completely. She is in a full look.
A Mother Africa bib.
Yeah.
With
Living.
a hat. Yeah.
So we get into the next day, okay. Valentina's turning looks yet again. Love it. I'm
Always.
not mad.
She's cleaning the mirror message, and she says, I know I'm Mexican, but I don't even know how to clean.
Right.
And there wasn't a blanket refusal to clean, but she wasn't doing well at it. So I don't think she's the new
refusal.
me. She's not the new me, but
I can't be cleaning on TV.
Yeah.
I can't be seen
I wouldn't.
with Windex.
Yeah. Off-brand Windex.
So this is very exciting because when this week happens, everyone knows it's coming and everyone is really ready for it. And it is the Snatch game, but this time it's with a twist, and it's the Snatch game of love. I have. What do you think about this new format?
I didn't love the Snatch Game of Love format because I thought the two top people were in one team, and since each team had one winner, those people were the tops of the week in quotes. I think
Right.
I think Naomi could have been one of those tops, and with Trinity, I think Naomi and Trinity should have been the tops for the week. Who was the other top?
It was Manila.
Oh, Manila was great too,
Yeah,
but
I thought overall Naomi was really strong, and
Yes.
I thought that it was a disservice that she wasn't in the top. And part of the Snatch game is like the actual game of it doesn't matter. And she even says at the end, well, the winner is who cares?
Yeah.
So this one has like clear cut winners, whether they are like chosen by the producers and then they're told the guest judges are told to who to pick, or whether it really comes down to the
Wait, does
opinion.
that happen?
I don't know. But like, I don't know, like putting it in the hands of the guest judges is like,
You can't trust that.
That's
That's
like
trusting a
doesn't-
fan sometimes. Yeah.
right? Like it should be the winner should be chosen from the top. You know,
I do think each contestant that did poorly was given one last question at the end. I think that I remember Gia was the last question for her team. Like they were really trying to like, hey, and while you're down there digging that grave, go one more foot. You know, it was very that.
yeah.
It was. That was a rough performance.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all kikied with Gia. We've all hung out with her. She is definitely humorous and she's funny. Is she a comedian? No.
Right. And there's a certain music to this type of comedy. It's sort of like setup and punchline and sort of like
Bing, bang, boom.
vaudeville. Yeah. And
Catskills for sure.
exactly. And not everyone hears that music. And it's really evident with some of these girls.
Yeah.
You can tell that Trinity has a handle on the rhythm of it. Like, well, blah, 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 blah. And that's why almost her characterization of Caitlyn Jenner was kind of perfect for this.
Yeah.
Because it is that sort of like, yuck, yuck, yeah, yuck, yuck, yeah, which is what the match game and what the
$25,000
what is this
pyramid.
called? The Bachelorette or the
Game.
the dating game?
Dating game, yeah.
Yeah.
Newlywed game. That too.
Yeah.
I do think that finding a rhythm with comedy is easy if you, a tip that I had was if you can't find a joke in a sitcom script, always just pretend it's Borscht Belt. And then you can find it there and just tone it down.
Right. The way you say something, you can make anything into a joke.
Exactly, yeah. Do you think that the Gia and Trinity standoff was ever going to result in two Caitlins? Tale of two Caitlins?
This is when the queens are producing themselves.
Oh, and you could see.
They have a little meeting in the van. Look, they've even staged themselves. I mean, we've got Latrice and Trinity and Manila over here.
She's
and
got the wig on the side that she picks up.
I mean,
Staged.
this is the queens having a meeting in the van beforehand and saying, all right, so we're going to like have a scene. Are you ready?
This is a non-union production of RuPaul's Drag Race.
Gia
Scene study.
has never had any intention of doing Caitlyn Jenner, I don't think. And based on intel that we received from her. But hey, it was a riveting scene.
Monet had no intention of doing Whitney either, according to that wig, but she still did it. This wig that they show her picking out like it was going to be Whitney. That isn't even Your Love Is My Love, Whitney.
Whitney has never worn that
Whitney
wig.
would never. That's disrespectful.
Maybe she had
to
a
Whitney.
different character because she has glasses
That's
on that.
Oprah.
Is it?
Oprah glasses, big Oprah hair.
I don't know.
Don't you think?
I don't watch Oprah.
Why would she not do Oprah, and why would she do Whitney in favor? Now we're just spinning theories. I would like to get Monet on the phone and find out. Do we have her phone number? Do I have her phone number?
She a PG girl?
I'll text her.
Hack into the system.
And I'll text this hacking into the matrix.
We're going to take a quick break and try to contact our sister.
Yeah.
Bye. December 31st, MedMen rocks.
Healthy New Year from MedMen.
Inside every MedMen is a way to help you meet more of your 2019 resolutions. Are you looking to get fit? Try an energizing edible before you run, and maybe a soothing CBD pain stick for after. You could suck on it; and it'll give you a lisp like that.
Exactly. So visit a store near you, and their knowledgeable in-store team, including in-house pharmacists and medicinal stores, they will make sure that you find the product that you are looking for in easy and understandable instructions.
Flashcards.
On how to use those things. So go to medmen.com to find the store that's nearest to you.
Yeah, and you can use the promo code DRAG at checkout to get 10% off your purchase. Visit a MedMen today. Those
works.
terms and conditions do apply, though, so just a note, keep out of reach of children and for use by adults 21 years of age or older. Mm-hmm. Okay, Jack A. I'm super...
It's the Snatch game of love.
I'm so excited because this is my first time back on RuPaul's Drag Race since since a while. I'll tell you
She's
that.
back.
They show a clip of Latrice and the Snatch Game fuckery from season 4, and I make my return.
Were you part of the fuckery, or had you left by that point? Left the set?
There was when the fuckery got really bad. That's when I pulled out my cardboard cutout and said, "I'm gonna hit it," because they were fooling. I was waiting for someone to say, "Calm down, guys," and it really didn't happen. So I left the set. I put up my little cardboard cutout, went and stood in the mirror for like a full question or two, fixed myself. They kept trying to get me to go back, and I was like, "I'll go back when I want," and I went back. I think they were trying to get me to break character, and I was in character the whole time. But there was a lot of Latrice was mad.
I saw a sliver of your face on that screen.
Mm-hmm. Maybe they'll blur it by the air date because we are watching this before we are on the cusp.
Right.
Yeah.
A sliver of the face.
A sliver of face. A sliver of mug. A shard.
It's always I think that as a fan of the show, I feel like the fans are, myself included, were very resistant to change, and the Snatch Game is such an institution that I'm like, everyone's going to be really skeptical of the Snatch Game of Love because it's a different thing. But it's okay. I just think the choosing of the winning was not ideal.
Yeah, I agree.
The structure is pretty much the same. You get the setup and then you get to deliver something.
Mm-hmm.
Choosing of the winner is a little iffy. So if they do it again, I think they should change it. That's my recommendation. Who do we have on this panel?
We have Whitney Houston.
Uh-huh.
We have Wendy Williams, Caitlyn Jenner, and Eartha Kitt. I had never seen that Eartha Kitt movie with the Emperor's New Grooves.
I didn't realize that's what she was saying. She was saying, "Pull my lever, Kronk."
Yeah.
Isn't it Kronk?
I've never seen it, but I knew that Eartha Kitt had voiced that character, and I was like, that's what she's doing. But it still wasn't funny to me. And the goal is to be funny, not just to be quotable and accurate in this Snatch Game of Love, you know? And some girls are like, well, I look just like her, and I'm saying stuff that she has said exactly. You have to find a way to make it funny.
It's not even about looking anything like them.
And God damn it, when will girls learn how to sit on those stools? Stools are not there for sitting comfortably. You're there to pose on the stool and use it.
You just lean, like
Yeah.
you lean, and I mean Naomi looks great.
Naomi always
and I
looks
love
great.
that Trinity's wide stance.
Yeah.
Valentina's posing on
That
the
is how you
stool.
do some stool work.
You pretty much aren't sitting in. I mean, on she's perched.
Yeah.
She's resting one ass cheek kind of on the very edge of glory of
She is
that.
perched.
She looks great. You can't say she doesn't look great.
Yeah.
She kind of was giving me Jasmine Guy. With the way she did her makeup. She looked like
Whitley.
she was going to say Dwayne.
I think if you look at any reunion, especially mine, you could see the girls that actually know there's a camera there and the ones that don't by how they're seated on a stool, whether they look like a trucker or whether they look like a glamazon draped.
I think let's just go down the line with how we thought people did on this.
Sure.
Whitney Houston is sort of like sacred ground that I don't think it really pays off to do her on Drag Race, period. Because anytime anybody tries, it either gets shut down immediately or it just doesn't really. It
doesn't land. Sahara's didn't really land so much. It was fine, but it didn't make an impact. It wasn't a deep impact.
Right. It was also a different time then because Whitney was alive. And she was sort of doing that like Bobby Brown reality TV. So like Whitney was like purposefully putting herself out there in that way. And so Sahara did that and it was respectful and she did it. And it was fine.
I had to clean my bathroom last week myself, and it got to the Whitney stage, the National Enquirer Whitney bathroom.
Really?
There were wigs. There was a lighter. You know when there's a lighter in your bathroom, you're doing something wrong.
Mysterious like substances and
Oh, they weren't mysteries.
discolored glass pieces.
Panties and bras.
Panties, bitch.
Yeah, I got the one sink that I don't use, so I just keep my wigs in that sink because it's a double vanity. Anyway,
This is they show Monet squirting herself with the water.
Yeah.
Which, like, when Chad Michaels was switching her wigs, they didn't show every time she did it. They were like, oh, it's not her round, so we're not going to show her. But, like, this one, they were like, we're just going to show you doing your fucking device right now.
no favors.
Maybe it was distracting, and that's why they showed it. Maybe it was, like, disruptive.
You think the other people were thrown by it?
Maybe.
She seems pretty contained. It's not like she has a wheelie cart with her spray bottle. I think they were. I don't think that they were trying to give the illusion that she was doing well.
Right.
For sure.
She kept saying, all the man that I need.
I'm like, honey, that was a B-side.
That's the case of when, like, you have the one stock answer ready and then you can't come up with something in the moment. So you're like,
I don't think she's in danger of being in the top. That's for sure.
yeah, I don't think so.
Wendy Williams, though. Wendy Williams is
Wendy Williams. Yeah.
slip of the tongue. Sorry. I think she's great at it. And
She is really good in it, especially because this isn't her strong suit. Improv, acting, comedy, those aren't like her top shelf things that she's known for.
especially after the last Snatch game she did.
Right. So this was like, I was proud of her for
Yeah.
this, and I thought it was really strong.
A clear case of stepping her pussy up.
I was kind of shocked that she wasn't at the top. Her look is also great, which
Look,
is
the
like
nostrils.
secondary. The nostrils, like the body is like
The body perfectly
so
proportioned.
right.
Yeah, she did that.
Hair, body, face. I mean,
Hair, body, face, flat. She's in a flat too, like Wendy.
right? Like it's
gladiator
right. She obviously knew the character very well. And she did, and then she added on that cherry on top with the falling over. She could have won this.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was close.
Yeah, it was very close.
I think Trinity's Caitlyn Jenner was the clear, clear standout of the group. She had everybody laughing.
She had jokes.
She was
which is the main thing.
jokes on jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was able to comment on people's on other people
Without being intrusive or
Exactly.
combative, because you want to hit it and quit it and get away from it when you're hitting on someone else's joke, because otherwise it could be seen as rude.
Right.
Eartha Kitt by Valentina is a scene study in what to do when you're in your own world.
The references were were too esoteric. And it's really, the name of the game is making RuPaul laugh. And when RuPaul thinks Eartha Kitt, he is not thinking about Emperor's New Groove. He's thinking about Catwoman, or like Monte Carlo, or I Love Men, or
or bringing up the Blacklist from the 1950s.
Oh wow,
she was blacklisted. She should have pulled out a book and been like, "I've been blacklisted. I've been in Europe all these years. Hoover got me.
Me compromise for a man?
Never. Why should I?
Why should I?
I'd do some compromises for Keenan Lansdale because he's fine. How old is he? He's old enough if he's on Drag Race.
He's Love Simon's boyfriend.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah. That was good. He pretended to be straight at first, and then I knew. I was like, he's Blue. He's the one.
Oh wow,
that's the guy's name.
His name is Blue.
The boyfriend signs his name as like Blue,
like
in
the
Love
Velociraptor.
Simon. Blue. Yeah. Totally. Bitch, both could tear me up in different ways.
I felt Love Simon was very unrealistic because in real life, like Simon would have been on Grindr and like.
Truth,
like would have for years been on Grindr and just been like, yeah, like I'm whatever, maybe
playing fucking pen pal in the library. Yeah, not a chance, Greg Bertolani. Sorry, boo. Wow, I know.
Like they would have been like, oh yeah, we're the two gay kids in the town.
That's
like
how
we've already fucked like years ago.
Him and Robbie Rogers met through a school library program, actually. Yeah, I'm sure. Wow.
Let's get back to the Snatch game. This is round 2 or team 2. And we have Monique Hart as Tiffany Haddish.
Yeah, which the characterization was there, but I don't think the voice was similar at all.
Right, it's a good
and the
character
dress seemed
choice.
like a piece of fabric. The dress was not a dress.
Okay.
The dress is a reference. Do you know
to the dress that Tiffany has worn multiple times, because she said, if I'm going to pay for this dress, I've read Black Unicorn. Don't try me. She reads.
Yeah.
She reads. She ready. So I know Tiffany Haddish front and back, and this dress could have been made much better. I don't see a hem. It's everything is hemmy.
Everywhere you look, there's a hem. There's a hem here. There's a hem there. There's a hem here. Everywhere you look, there's a hem.
Hemmything is possible.
Anything is possible.
Yeah, there's a safety pin, I'm pretty sure. I don't know about this dress.
I'm not mad about that. It's not about the look.
Well, I'm looking for things to get mad at.
This is a smart character to choose because
Topical.
she's topical, she's vocal. Also, if people don't know who she is, which, I mean, I think a lot of people do, but if you don't know who she is, it's sort of like that Tamar Braxton moment when Roxy did her. Mm-hmm. It was like a character that you can make your own if people aren't familiar with her.
I think the test with Snatch Game is if even people don't know who the even if people don't know who the character is, you still need to find a way to make it funny. And Monique found a way to do that. You know, if you didn't know Tiffany Haddish, you still thought all her answers were funny. You know.
Yeah.
Like it's the same thing with Valentina. Even if you didn't know Eartha Kitt, all of her answers were still not funny.
I thought her Jasmine Guy impression was spot on, personally.
I have a Jasmine Guy story, but I can't tell it to you now.
Okay.
I'll tell you later. And you can go on to Race Chaser Pod to check out the I don't know, something.
Okay.
I was like, what, am I going to tell them? No, never mind.
No.
Did you think Manila's Barbra Streisand was out of left field?
I know that she's always been influenced by Barbara, and she obviously loves her, and that's really someone you should choose, is someone you know in and out, and like you know how they would respond if they were thrown in a completely foreign environment. Mm-hmm. Like, so I thought this was a good choice for her, and it was unexpected. I wasn't expecting it. But like Manila does the eye cross thing, which is like a very like Streisand-y thing.
That nose is huge. It's a real honker. Jenny Bui is the character that Gia does, and it's Cardi B's nail tech. I don't know if I follow them, that I've seen them.
Yeah, I had no familiarity with this character at all.
I don't remember any nail references. I mean, she could have just kept it short. Like, if I was doing a character that maybe I wasn't ready to do so much, I would just turn every answer into an answer about myself somehow. And avoid the low blows and trying to get like personal, I think.
It started to turn into that, and like at first I was afraid that it was gonna get really like racist and really like
The debate season 4, remember that?
Right, yeah, like cringy.
If she found a way to make it funny, it would have worked.
Right, she could have made it about nails and like really focused on that. But I think that I think Gia knew that she was out of her element here and was just like trying to go for stuff, and so it ended up being like, I'm just gonna like personally attack Latrice Royale. And Latrice was much unhappy about this.
There were feathers all over because she was plucked.
Yes. So Latrice was doing Della Reese.
Which, for those who don't know who Della Reese is, if you're kind of in my age range, Della Reese was the old lady on Touched by an Angel.
Touched by an Angel, honey.
before-
Roma Downey, darling.
Rub it down me. Before Touched by an Angel, she was a singer in the 50s and 60s and an actress, kind of like a musical gal.
Yeah.
Gospel.
She was always singing on Touched by an Angel, too, wasn't she?
When you walk. She did the opening.
Yes.
And I love that Latrice has colors in a flavor of Reese's Pieces, because I always wanted a Della's Reese's Pieces.
Oh, that's good.
Like a diabetic candy treat.
Oh.
Because Della had the sugars.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did have the sugars.
I love that.
Yeah.
Latrice's dress is an event. She has these sort of like life preservers wrapped around her arms. This must be a reference to something Della wore.
Oh, Della wore something foolish like that for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Latrice got distracted by what was going on, because she started really strong, and then it sort of was just like dealing with sitting next to Gia and not having another person to sit next to like play off of, and you're just like, okay.
I would have loved to seen Latrice do like Naomi Campbell.
Ooh, that's a good idea. I thought Manila did well on this.
Yeah, Manila did great.
It was a well-studied character. Do I think it was as strong as Wendy Williams? No, I do not. But she was on the other team, and she was kind of floating the second team. So that's why she's a winner. What is the points guy?
The points guy.
It's a website. It's like a travel.
It's a
website.
travel website where if you don't host, you can go to the points guy, and he's got a shed where you could hook up in the back. He'll point to it from the back, and that's what they win.
The points, but like the prize isn't real though. Like the prize is a joke, but then the sponsor is real. Right. They're like, you'll go on a connecting flight and you'll eat at the airport, and then you'll go to the middle of the ocean. And then they're like, but it's the points guy.
Oh, they're booked at Scarlet, huh?
They probably paid for an ad on airtime, but didn't actually give any.
I don't know, but it intrigues me, and now we're talking about the points guy, so it worked. It worked, points guy. You did it.
You got to give to get, and they did.
Honey, they did it.
This little kiss between Gus and Kenyon is quite It's the block the hand because I'm not really kissing you. My husband's in the audience.
Oh, right.
Very that. Yeah. The next day, the girls think that Gia and Monet will be in the bottom based on their performance. And I kind of agree.
Let's take a break first before we get into all
we're going to hit that. There's corn on the floor.
Honey, there's corn on the floor, darling.
Go do another lap. Start that back at the bridge.
Honey,
play that back. Picking up right where we left off, we think that I agree with the girls, their assessment of Gia and Monet in the bottom. Do you?
Right. Who ends up being in the bottom? Is it Gia and Monet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gia and Monet, and then the second from the bottom is somebody else.
It's very risky to touch Whitney Houston at this point, unless it's like I don't even know how you could do it, and I wouldn't want to take her to that being Bobby Brown era even at all. It's been so done. that I would keep her like Clive Davis, Whitney Houston.
Got
if
it.
I were to go there, which I wouldn't, because I'm a fucking white man.
Whatever you want from her, you're
So,
not giving her everything.
I just I like worship Whitney Houston so much.
Me too.
Like,
You know Fletcher can't swim, right?
right, Fletcher kids.
Gonna kill them, Frank. I think that if each team has a top girl, each team needs to have a bottom girl, and I don't know if I would have picked Valentina or Monet from the first one. Both of them didn't land for me, and the byproduct of both of their performances were no laughs. I'm not saying either of them did poorly enough to make me go ugh, but either one could have been in the bottom for me for sure. But on the other team, Gia was definitely the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So much so that she was bringing other people down with her.
Gia was basically Dawson's 75 load weekend. She was so bottom.
Damn.
For sure. I like that they get into the marriage talk real quick with this.
So Valentina is in the bottom, not Monet. Monet was close.
Valentina's in the bottom?
Yeah. Kronk, pull my lever. Pull my lever, Kronk.
Damn.
Kronk. Pull my lever.
Yeah, I need to see that movie now.
I mean, Eartha's great in it. It's an iconic villain, but I wish the whole movie was about her. She deserves her own movie. I wonder if she got a straight-to-video spinoff. Probably. Leave us information in the comments section about that. The girls have a little mirror talk. They talk about marriage. Latrice and Christopher.
I went, bitch. Latrice walked down the aisle to Through the Fire by Miss Shaka Khan. And it was amazing. She had this high, tight little fade. She looked beautiful.
Yeah.
And then Chris was there. And bitch, the peach cobbler. I stuck
was it
my foot
right?
in it. I stuck my foot in it. It was so good.
Did you really stick your foot?
That's when something's good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You didn't really, though.
No, That would
That
add
would be
to the seasoning.
disrespectful.
You don't do that at a wedding.
Seasons.
Can I get on? Can someone help me
season-
put it on the table? I'm gonna step
Celestial
in this.
seasonings.
Yeah. I did not go to Manila's wedding, but I remember seeing it in Vegas. Happy 1 year anniversary, Manila.
Yes.
Her and Michael got married.
And I love that they're showing this because, I don't know, I mean, there used to be a perception years ago that if you were a drag queen, you were never going to get fucked and you were never going to get a date and you were never going to have a man. And so seeing people with, lasting, stable, strong relationships, I think is good to show the world.
Yeah. Misleading, but good.
You have stable relationships, but they usually last on an hourly basis. Very stable.
And you belong in a stable.
That's true.
Yeah.
RuPaul comes down the runway.
Legs.
Which I was watching this on my phone, and I literally thought I was like, I was getting ready for a show, and I at a glance, I thought that when she first walked out, I thought it was Monet X Change, because she has like sort of the short hair and like the legs.
That's a Courtney.
The hair is a Courtney.
The hair
Wigs
is
by
a Wigs by
Vanity.
Vanity. The model is Courtney. And it's razzed up a little bit, but that's a Courtney. I know that curl pattern. I know that wefting.
She looks great.
She looks sickening.
She was like, I want legs today. Get into it.
Yep. Michelle
It
looks
takes
great.
extra work to have legs, I
It
will
does,
say.
because she's padded from ankle to hip.
Yes. Like, it's
Sickening.
She looks great.
Yeah. I don't have any notes. Maybe an
No.
earring and a different nail.
Has she ever worn a miniskirt on the main stage?
The closest was she did like a sort of a reveal. It was like a long, like sort of paillette shimmery thing, and then whoosh, ripped it off. But it was like just a short skirt. It was not like this short. It was not like
This is a cookie duster.
cookie duster.
There's mini, there's mod, which is like an A-line length, and then there's cookie duster, and this is cookie duster. When you dust the cookie.
Dusting the cook.
For sure. The guest judges look hot as fuck. I'd suck on them both.
Oh, wow.
And the category is boots the house down.
This is the fun they get fun categories this year.
Girl, that's why, like, I'm not jealous that I didn't get to be on it, but I have some really cute things I would have loved to wear on TV.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go, but like still, it would have been real nice.
Yeah.
Look at Monet and these Rihanna knockoffs.
Well,
Little motocross.
It's okay.
Girl, I love
it.
an homage, but way to make yourself look wider and bulkier.
I think.
And where was your belly button?
I think her middle section looks like astoundingly amazing. Like I don't even really understand how it's working. But yeah, she doesn't have a belly button.
She looks like Kyle XY.
Kyle XY.
Never mind.
I don't know who that
It
is.
was like this. It was this show.
Didn't have a belly button,
No,
it's
it was
an
a
alien.
it was a tween show.
God.
It was a tween show, and I was mad because the whole time that the kid was on it, he was dating guys and he wasn't out, and then all of a sudden, the career lull, and he wants to come out, and I just got mad at him, and I was like, I just wanted to yell faggot at him every time I saw him,
Yeah.
which would have not been nice.
Yeah.
Not like me, you know.
Yeah.
Not
that
like
would
me at all.
Be out of character and
Out
out
of
of
pocket. Deep out of pocket. I think
Naomi looks cool.
Naomi looks great. Naomi always looks great.
Yeah, she always looks great.
Ugh, these boots. I think they're Brian Atwood. I think she's wearing a Brian Atwood boot.
Does
I'm
it
pretty
count
sure.
as a boot? Is that a boot? Literally the runway prompt is boot.
The house down.
Boots the house down. I think that's a gladiator sandal, isn't it?
Do you want to text Drew?
Is that a boot though? It's like a
It's a
strappy
shoe.
up the leg, but the category is called boots.
I've seen the dossier. I definitely think it is a shoe, but I'm not sure if it can classify as a boot. Maybe that's one of the reasons she didn't win. And they did in the directive afterwards, in the redirect, they said if we knew the category was boots and we looked at you, we wouldn't be so sure it was boots. Boots.
Right.
Boots good out of here.
But she looks cool.
Looks sickening.
Yeah. Next up, we have Trinity, the tuck.
Mm-hmm.
She is fully in a boot. I mean, it's a boot with like 1,000 buckles going up it, and then it's like a chap.
Yeah, that's a bootlet chap.
Are these the pleaser chaps that I also own?
I don't know, but I did text her about these boots, and she told me who made them, but then I lost my phone last night, so don't know.
You don't have your phone?
Mm-mm.
Where'd you lose?
I left it at Gigi's.
Oh, so you're going to get it back.
Yeah.
Gigi
Okay.
Lavanchi, great.
Gigi
Yes, I left it at Gigi
Lavanchi
Lavange Granger,
Granger's
guest
house.
judge from season 2. She and I have gotten close since she's been listening to herself on Race Chaser.
Next up, we have Valentina.
In a drop crotch leather looking Corinthian leather looking getup.
I like this.
It's great when her legs are together, but she needs a good yank. You know when you already have your nails on and you're like, girl, will you pull my hose up?
I know, it's tricky. And especially because it's strapless. So it just comes down to like, if it drifts, you're going to get that crotch moment. Next up, we have Monique Hart coming out in the largest hood I've ever seen.
It looks like a prolapsed asshole at first.
Large Red Riding Hood.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
she's doing furry animals eating my legs boots. I think it's cool.
Here's the thing, though. It's Drag Race All-Stars. If you're coming out with a belt loop, honey, there better be a belt on it. If there's a chance to accessorize, you better accessorize. She's got on a hoop earring, a pair of boots, a cape, and a wig, and a ring, and a glove. Honey, I need more. She came in with everything in the kitchen sink in her entrance look, and she can't even put a belt on or like a little keychain to dangle. Ooh, look down here in my waist.
Sure.
You need to embellish more. That was not, even if she thought she had won, that outfit could have kept her from the number 2 slot if it was between number 2 and number 3, just because it's a denim short.
Yeah.
I have those shorts too.
I could see, okay, but I could see that maybe she was under styling the top so that the focus was on the boots because that was the style prompt. That's my only.
I wouldn't have put the focus
devil
on those
advocate.
boots, but sure.
I thought the boots were cool.
They were the coolest thing,
but they sort of didn't have a lot to do with the top. The top was sort of like casual Kelly, like
yes. I mean, maybe get a basket, sell the story a little bit more.
oh, Red Riding Hood.
Yeah,
moment.
look at what Manila does on the runway every time. She tells a story. She weaves the web.
Right.
She checks the book out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next, we have Manila checking out the book. Mm-hmm. She's in complete
Bondage garb.
sub king
Bunny bondage.
bunny bondage slave. Am I allowed to say gimp or is that offensive?
What's gimp mean?
I think in the BDSM world it's not, because it's not referring to like a physical.
Right.
As long as
Well,
I don't say it, it's not offensive.
She is a sub-bottom, kink-bottom
Funny.
rabbit person.
I think she looks great.
She's got a carrot ball gag, and she commits to hopping down the entire runway in heels, which cannot have been easy, and she fucking does it and
Twice.
kills it.
You know she did it twice, too.
Yeah.
And the bunny
she
ears.
literally can't walk because she's strapped together.
The bunny ears are pink, too.
Yeah.
What does that mean in fist code?
Tit play.
Tit play. Oh.
Ooh, you knew that. You know that
Wow.
very quickly. Thank
she
you,
didn't have
Jim.
to cross-reference nothing.
No.
Gia looks stunning in denim. She's got her 22-inch hair on. But again, I wouldn't get boots from this sateen boot
Right.
that she glued some feathers on.
The clothes are all very nice.
Oh, yeah, Lux.
And they're probably
looking like $1 million
expensive.
bucks.
Lux, looking like $1 million bucks.
For sure. I am excited about Latrice because, honey, this is what I came for. She said, Rihanna, come here. I'm going to eat you.
Those diamond fucking tassel
Latrice
boots.
Royale.
Yeah.
And the red hair. She's an event. Latrice
Yeah.
is a motherfucking event right now.
She's always an event. And
Yeah.
this is very fun. And it's all about the boots.
All about the boots.
This is how you show off the boot. There's nothing interfering with the boot. The boot is the main event.
Mm-hmm.
It's mirrored by a little bit in the top, and then the boots are allowed to speak. I think that's great.
I love how they always put Latrice on the end for judging. She's always on kind of one end because otherwise the frame of the shot, the depth perception is kind of.
You saw.
She's a good bookend for sure.
So we get down to the ruling, to the judging, to the who's in the tops and who's in the bottoms.
I love how some of the girls have learned by now to take their note. Gia takes a note lovely and agrees with that she was poor in performance. And, you know, some of the girls, Valentina always takes a note lovely.
Yeah.
Some of the girls have a less open look about their face when they're getting a note. And I think that that's a problem.
Right.
But I can't fix it, so we'll just move on.
So the tops end up being Trinity Teltor and Manilta Luzon. And the bottoms are
Valentina. The judges don't think
Valentina
her Eartha was
and
accurate.
Gia. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So this is hard. I don't think Valentina was considering herself to be in the bottom at all. So she was probably shook.
Yeah, I don't think that, you know, she looks great. She thought she did great, probably. And were you ever in the bottom or top and you didn't expect it and you were gagged?
Yeah. I thought I was going to be in the bottom when I was in my blue alien look.
Oh, yeah. There were only 4 people, too.
Not because of no, like the other one, the other.
Oh, the one
blue
where you
alien
screamed?
look. Yeah. How many blue alien looks did I do? Several.
So reductive.
Several. So reductive. Yeah. So I was really shook that I was safe, but.
I like this because Manila's being open about strategy, and I don't know if she was actually thinking this or if she was just giving it story and like giving an examination point for the episode, but she puts up the point of, should I send a strong competitor home so I can, because that is playing the game, you know, why not? But if she sent Valentina home, they would be at her door with pitchforks and rosaries.
And I don't think she was ever going to send Valentina home, but I think it makes better TV if going into this, you leave it open that it could go either way.
And she tries to form an alliance of sorts, and Valentina shuts her down. And she's like, I can't believe you would ask me that. I would never ask you that. And it's just one of those things. It's like, girl, well, it's a game. You know, this is a competition. It's, you know.
Right.
I don't think it was that far out of bounds for Manila to broach the subject. And Valentina asked like she was asked for her cherry or something. Jesus Christ. But I like that Gia breaks it down with Manila because she knows this was her last chance, and she gets out the story about her journey and that she transitioned, and that some of the situations at the race are bringing her back to when she was doing drag and not happy with herself, and it was triggering her behavior kind of.
Yeah.
And like, I know when I get nervous sometimes on stage, I have a tendency to talk too much or go low or make personal attacks even. It's easy. It's like a jab, and sometimes it doesn't come across as friendly or funny. And I think that Gia was probably nervous and like reaching for all the straws, and sighs and
definitely.
obvious looks jokes were there, and she grabbed them.
Yeah.
Usually when drag queens grab a straw, it's way more fun. But in
It's
this
usually
case,
cut in half at an angle.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like that the couch sessions this week are fairly brief, and you get story out of them. Not just
Trinity
well,
was like, I know exactly who I'm setting up. Which like you're not supposed. You like, I don't know. I think you're probably. I'm not. I think it's better TV if you leave it open ended, because then
that's
you
the story
don't
of my
know.
life.
Because then you don't know who's gonna win the lip sync, who's gonna pick who out of their lipstick thing.
But it is up to. I mean, Trinity was being real. She wasn't about to fake and even hem and haw for once. She was letting story do their thing. She said, I'm going to tell you, and then you're going to make what you want with it. But, like, Trinity was being her true self. I don't think she should have to say, well, I don't know who I'm sending home in an interview, because it's a waste of time. Trinity is Trinity. The tuck.
The tuck.
When Naomi is chatting with Valentina, she says, how do you feel, Valentina? And Valentina says, I just feel like gorgeous right now. And she's right. She looks fucking gorgeous. She's in that good homeboy wig, the French guy.
Maurice? Is that a Maurice?
That's a Maurice for sure.
Wow, yeah. It's good hair.
It is good hair. I also like that Valentina says, you know what? Can I have your cocktail?
Well, that's sweet.
Yeah.
That was me on season 5. I would always like take everyone's drinks.
You call your 20s season 5?
Some girls would like drink their drinks really slowly, and it would be like almost the end of Untucked, and I'd be like, give me that. Me and Detox would be like cleaning up everyone's fucking drinks.
I am so sorry that they had a cap on y'all because of us.
I wonder what it would be like to be that.
It was so much more fun drunk. So much more fun.
I'm talking about Valentina saying, like, she's, like, literally in the bottom. Like, it's possible that she could go home. And she's literally like, I feel so pretty right now. Like, just to be so beautiful that you just can't think of anything else.
Adjusting the narrative.
You're just like, you know what? Like,
I just feel so pretty.
Like, your house is burning down around you. And, like,
You're on the
dogs
news.
are eating your feet. And you're like, I just feel
So
my makeup
gorgeous.
is so setting right now. Like, it's just sitting. It's just, my hair is so laid.
100%.
I want to visit that mindset for a day.
I've never felt that way, because immediately after I turned my head a little to the left, and I'm like, oh, there's that jaw.
Then you catch yourself in a mirror. Then the lighting is goon.
Good dragooned.
These gals look great for this lip sync.
I love that they let them change. And Manila puts on my favorite color, fringe.
Ooh,
I mean,
yes.
fringe is just such a great thing to have on stage with you, because it creates movement. It's a little party. And Manila is smart. She uses the architecture around her to help tell the story and push it. And Trinity wears a Muppet.
Right. And this is two different interpretations of the song. I think Manila's doing it very heartfelt, and Trinity's going for more like humor. And that's why I think Manila wins the lip sync, because this is obviously like an emotional connection point for RuPaul and Michelle, definitely, and probably for a lot of people. But it's, you don't want to take Whitney to like comedic for RuPaul. I don't think she wants that.
Remember when
that.
Milan did a Whitney-inspired thing.
They were like, no,
She was red beneath the dirt.
we're not doing that.
Yeah, and
it's RuPaul music. It's not Whitney music.
They showed
Next.
they showed the good part of that. They didn't show the rest, where they were really breaking it down.
Thank you, next.
Yes, thank you.
Bye.
Which is what they say to Gia after Manila pulls her lipstick out of the titty. Gia gets the chop. She gets sent to the house. And it's kind of sad.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think Gia is going to do a lot with this platform that she's been given. She always does. Each little reality show she's done has been a greater step in her profile. Wow. I'm sorry, you guys.
The level of unprofessionalism, that is not what I came here to do. I think Gia has this really nice soft moment, though, right at the end. And
with all that filler.
And it's... I can't speak to that, but... I've never heard of filler. I don't even know what that is. But
that's what they called me when we were 7th place.
Oh, filler queen. Okay,
yeah.
Right. But I think that we haven't seen the last of Gia Gunn. That's for sure.
Down but not out.
Watching her journey off the screen is as exciting and thrilling as it is seeing her on the show. So that's good.
Yeah, and by journey, I also love journeying with her because bitch can shoot off her mouth, and I love it.
Oh,
she can get twisted and rotted, and she's one of the most fun girls to have backstage at a show.
Yeah.
She'll always have spray adhesive, some good AB ring that she wants to let you borrow. Yeah.
She's also the sole inventor of all drag language.
And
it's just like... It all comes from her and Laganja.
I mean,
and that's just the truth.
Chicago, Dallas, Chicago, Texas, and Florida invent drag vernacular.
Yes,
and
completely.
Gia is definitely included in there. And she has a great line of tucking panties that I've worn, and they're wonderful. If you're listening to this and you get up in the gig, check them out. There's a little pocket for your dick, your balls, and for drugs. You can put drugs in there too.
Aw, cool.
Yeah. So if you're a bio queen or a femme queen, just stuff that with whatever you need. A little baking soda or cornstarch, make a gravy.
Ooh, corny.
Yeah.
And we are very excited because we were able to land an exclusive on the phone interview with the one and only Gia Gunn. Gia, can you hear us?
Sweetie,
Gina?
I can hear you, doll.
Sis?
Can you hear my light feminine voice, or is it too high pitched?
This would just be an interview segment that will bump in that won't play.
It's so good to talk to you. Thank you for calling in.
Are the dolls live?
We're not live. I mean, it's pre-recorded,
Oh, okay.
but we are recording right now.
Okay.
It will be recorded
What's
for quality
going on?
assurance.
Doll.
We're just here up in the gig, fully lashed, 301,
Yes, Mink.
Ermine.
Wow. I'm definitely missing out this Christmas Eve.
Girl, you should feel this beard. It's Christmas Steve.
Wow.
Where
I
in the
love
world are
beard.
you? You're in Chicago?
I am. I came to spend time with my fam.
Yes. We just wanted to, I just wanted to tell you how excited I was to see you on my TV again.
Oh, thanks.
Of course, we watched you on the Switch. I watched a few little snippets here and there, always slaying. And
Get the switch. Hello.
Don't forget the Switch, darling. La China Mas Latina is
Yeah.
available on iTunes, honey.
Y todo.
Y todo. Sabelo.
And everything.
But I was so excited that you were on this season, and it was really exciting to see you. And how was your experience?
Well, nonetheless, my experience was very interesting. It was definitely not what I expected it to be, but for many reasons. And I think, every Drag Race experience and opportunity means so many different things to so many different people. And now being off of the show, I realized that I really went on there for one reason only, which was really to bring not only trans visibility to the show, but in hopes that by me participating to open doors for other types of drag queens to be able to come through and hopefully be seen on our television screens, whether it be on Drag Race or another platform that, welcomes all walks of life and all types of drag.
Yeah.
And now, obviously it being months later and seeing the season itself and, how things are playing out, I realized that me putting myself in that situation, kind of brings back old memories for me and old, boundaries and old feelings that obviously kind of bring out a negative side of me just because the last time I was there, I was very uncomfortable, with myself and I wasn't really living my truth. And so to be back there again, it just kind of brought me back to that dark space and not really realizing, what I was getting myself into, because I think everybody in life wants to take full advantage of these opportunities and, be back on TV again and hopes to, amp up their career.
And you made it further than Farrah, gal, too. I mean...
That what?
And you made it further than Farrah, so you did fine.
I sure did, gal.
Yeah.
Because I practiced my routine and I actually had a talent.
Girl,
Oh,
I loved it. Here's the other thing I know that I'm glad that you went on the show too because it's taken one for the team. The first one is always you never know what you're going to get, and I'm glad that did you have a moment where you had any words with Rue about her past thoughts on having trans people on her show? Or I know they said that they never screened for anything but charisma, nerve, uniqueness, and talent. But I was like, the questions that casting would give the girls was a little, Did you have a chance to talk to her about any of that stuff?
Well, I did. And of course, it wasn't aired. And of course, none of her walkthroughs, came through on the episode itself, which was a little disappointing. But I very well knew that none of that was going to air because the show is not about making her look anything but great and, bringing positivity to the show, which I do think, this episode really did show a different side of me. And of course, there's a whole storyline, and I think it, showed different sides of me, a very witty and catty and shady side, as well as a very, emotional and vulnerable and truthful side, which I'm very content about, due to contrary belief or what other people have to say. I really had a hard time on the show simply because I did exchange words with her. And, before we went into Snatch Game is when these words were exchanged, and I felt completely disregarded. I didn't feel acknowledged. I didn't feel wanted, to be there in the competition. And truthfully, it really hurt my feelings. And I had a really big breakdown in between, sets. And I was just like, if I'm getting this feeling from her and I don't feel very welcome, like, what the fuck am I doing here? It's like I spent so much money to go and participate in a show with high hopes, not only to bring my art to the show and also, bring trans visibility to the show, but also just to show her that, I am a fully realized woman, that trans women can also do drag. But most importantly, I just thought she would have been a little bit more, a lot more warmer, a lot more welcoming. And I just would have thought,
Wait, RuPaul?
if we're going to bring somebody, of course.
Good luck.
And, I just thought if we were going to bring somebody onto the show to basically, clean up somebody's mess, and obviously that fell on me, right? Because months before she had made a statement that was completely opposite of, what they did. And I knew by being casted that I was going on there to basically show the world that this show does, quote unquote, support trans, and that she does, see trans people as drag queens. And so for me to get there and, for us to be on episode 3, never have eye contact with her, never, have any sort of acknowledgement of, oh, you've come so far, or, your journey has been so beautiful to watch, or anything of that sort. I just felt I just felt really hurt, and I felt like, you know, what was the whole point of me coming here if she wasn't going to, you know, walk the walk and talk the talk? So I had obvious thoughts of, you know, quitting and just kind of being like, well, I'm done with this. But I also didn't want to continue, you know, the season 6, quitters game. And also, you know, I didn't want people to see me as a quitter or see, you know, this trans person as somebody who was weak or not able to get through the competition due to, you know, whatever people were going to assume and think that I was going through. Knowing that this little part wasn't going to air and knowing that people weren't going to know the backside. So for me, the storyline wasn't really going to make sense. And I just wanted to make the best out of, you know, the little time that I did have there and kind of leave on a positive note as these fans take this shit over the top serious. And, you know, at the time I was too. And, yeah.
I think that whether that conversation was aired or whether it even happened or not, I think the fact that you were there and you were being fierce and you were
That pink gown.
you were girl, right?
And that bracelet that hang down with all the rhinestones. Ugh.
Right. That's going to be
A little drag.
a little drag.
And, you know, I really went there with, you know, very womanly fashion. You know, it was my idea to kind of show this, you know, new, you know, side of me that is whatever, a little more simplistic, a little more fashion forward, and a little less drag.
Yes.
But, you know, when I was there, I was really inspired by the other queens to not forget my roots and not forget that, you know, this isn't a show about transgender people. This isn't a show about, you know, anything but drag. And I was there, you know, to bring drag and to be fierce and to shell out. And so, even though I kind of regret on some of the things that I did wear, I'm happy that I was still able to bring the drag aspect as it's, you know, RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars.
I love that
Yeah.
there was a section where whenever Farrah's up for elimination, they make sure in the shot that you're right over her shoulder so they could get your reaction too. And that storyline, they pushed that one. And when she said to you, when she turned around and said, some of us don't have to force storyline, I'm like, Farrah, shut your mouth, because, like, you know that producers were like, go talk to her, you know. That seemed like they were pushing, like, some sort of big standoff from you guys. That it felt kind of forced. Like, did you feel that way? Did you feel pressure to, like, have something out with her that you didn't need to have out with her because she was drunk at a club one time or something like that?
I mean, I really just want to bring clarity to the situation, as I do think it's important. And long story short, you know, before the filming, everything I said was true. Obviously, we did have a falling out due to a third party. And
Was it
it's
over
really
trade?
unfortunate that this has all really came down to, you know, not even an issue between me and Farrah. It was her trying to salvage a relationship between me and somebody else, and it just kind of caused, you know, this animosity between us. And our relationship since then had always been very up and down. And while, you know, it was down, the next time I saw her was in the workroom. And so I really had to suck it up as well as I'm sure she did. And I guess I kind of made the quote-unquote mistake of making up with her, you know, off camera. And so we kind of, you know, agreed that we were, you know, over it and that we were just there to compete and blah, 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 blah. But me, of course, being the content creator and, you know, a good TV personality, I was very clear as to what the show wanted and also, you know, how I could create a storyline, because I wasn't there to just be kumbaya. And I also knew that I wasn't brought there, you know, because I was a fierce drag queen and da-da-da-da-da. I knew that I was brought there for my personality, my charisma, you know, my cattiness, my shadiness, my character, my TV personality, as I do think Drag Race is more about, you know, personalities and drama than it is actual drag nowadays. And so I think I caught her off guard by coming at her fiercely and not kind of telling her, like, hey, girl, I know we kind of, you know, made up, but let's just kind of play up the situation, not only because this is going to make great TV, but, you know, this is also kind of what, you know, story producers and the show was calling for. And I guess maybe her being newer to, you know, creating television and whatever, she just didn't really catch on. And so she was really dumbfounded when I was, like, stirring the pot and, like, you know, coming up to her while she was doing her makeup. And I guess I could have told her, like, you know, there's a moment where me and Trinity go at it, which was totally planned. It was like, you know, okay, girl, obviously you're going to do Caitlyn. Obviously I'm going to do, you know, who I'm going to do, but let's just play it up because this is fucking television. So some of us got it and some of us didn't.
You always get it. I love you, Gia.
Yeah, I love you too so much.
Because you get it too, my friend.
And you know, you being there and you sitting in that interview chair and being your authentic self and looking so lovely, and that is an inspiration to so many people out there that you don't even know about, like young people who are going to see that, like, this is possible for me. This is something that, like, I can pursue and I can do. So, like, that
absolutely.
Yeah.
And looking back, I have to accept that, and I have to realize that, you know, even though it's not as many episodes as I feel that I deserve to be in, it's still enough to give somebody the faith and the hope that they too can accomplish, you know, their goals and be who they want to be. And, you know, I don't really regret anything in life. I don't ever believe that you should ever look back. I believe that you should always only look forward. And
bitch, I want to look back at that new ass. You got you got them cakes from Jeremy Joseph's tit starter. I love that. Merry Christmas
you know,
to you.
It does kind of break my heart to think that there are, you know, young people who take this show very seriously, don't really understand how TV works, and they think that this is really who we are in real life. And so I hope that people don't see this as like, oh, well, you know, she was supposed to blossom into this, you know, angelic, young, respectful, genuine lady, and she didn't, and actually she's, like, you know, transitioned for the worse, and the hormones have gotten to her, and, you know, whatever other assumptions, you know, that people may make.
No, you were always crazy before the Moans, too. We all know that. Don't worry. We love you.
Exactly. And, you know, I like to think and know that my TV drag character and my trans activist, advocate, you know, public speaker gig is two very different people. And I think I've, you know,
one has spray adhesive, one doesn't.
Those two people in order to have clarity in my life, because, you know, drag created a lot of confusion for a little bit there for me, because I didn't understand, you know, who I was during the day and who I was at night. And now that I do, it's like I can turn it on and off, but some people can't really see that difference yet, or they just don't know me that well yet.
I love you.
I love you too so much. And thank you for talking with us. It's great to hear your perspective and your side about this. And I just want you to know that I fucking enjoyed beyond watching you this season.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I enjoy it too. And, you know, there is a lot of backlash right now. There is a lot of conflammatory on the social media with people, you know, trying to put me out and calling me the villain. And honestly, I'm just laughing at it all and just sucking it up and just enjoying the ride, because I think that's what this is made for. And like I said before, you know, it's just television. It's literally a show about cross-dressers. So let's not take it too fucking seriously, you know, because I'm definitely not.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Well, we have to get going. It was so nice. Thank you for taking some time out to talk to us.
Of course, ladies. And you have a lovely, lovely night with your 301. Don't poke any boys with your beards. And I'll talk to you guys later.
Bye, girl.
Bye, honey.
See you when you're back.
Bye. Love you guys.
Love you too.
Gratitude to Gia Gunn.
Ooh, thank you so much, Gia, for that. It was great talking with you.
Totally.
And thank you so much for joining us here on Race Chaser. We will be back again with our next episode, and we will continue recapping Drag Race current events.
I'm Willem.
And I'm Alaska.
And you can rate our podcast and comment about how fantastic it is. If you don't like it, mind your business. And subscribe and make sure you can know when each Naboo episode comes out.
Follow the dolls at Willam and at the Only Alaska 5000.
And our Race Chaser podcast is at Race Chaser Pod.
On the Instagram. So just send us those memes. We want all those memes for the Instagram stories. And
The memes, the neenies, all them. And we want nudes too. Those are always welcome. And
Always
don't forget to use the hashtag Race Chaser when you post. And we're going to go look at some of these nudes now.
Bye.
January 11th at the Ace Hotel downtown.
Race Chaser.
Race Chaser is not endorsed by World of Wonder, Viacom, or any of their subsidiaries. It is intended for entertainment and informational purposes only. RuPaul's Drag Race and all names, pictures, and audio clips are registered trademarks and or copyrights of their respective trademark and copyright holders.
Race Chaser with Alaska and Willam is a Forever Dog podcast.
Produced by Big Dipper.